Ndindoda kuti nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingachatsi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa
My hitters gon' die, don't die, and real hitters gon' shine, and my people gon' line. That's my point to win, yeah. I ain't saying
But the hell do I not have the deal? I swear this thing is a real dog. I play fan off the cowards that they can't feel. The wife try to console me like it's coming, baby, chill. She don't understand. I'm the only one that's real. I remember the third grade. Them kids, they had waves. I had them BDBs. You know that Zimbabwe grade. So they do shades. And your boy hit the stage, press play, and all the chicks was like, yeah. While boys was moving bricks, I was moving chips. If she gave me calculus, gave her a mouthful of it. Heat rose to this thing, boy, I bet on myself.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to The Date with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday, and I want to welcome you to a fantastic, fun-filled Friday. Of course, I'm excited because this is the last Friday right before Juneteenth, and you know it's going down all weekend. I'm going to be recapping some of the amazing events we'll be having throughout the area, throughout the weekend and into Monday. There's so many great things going on, but I am super stoked, y'all, because Kevin Ross, amazing Billboard charting legend, music and artist, R&B style. He is in here with me. We're going to be talking to him. I'm so glad that he was able to join us from his location virtually today, but I'm so stoked because I've been a fan of his work for a very long time, and he is also going to be one of our amazing headliners for the Juneteenth celebration happening at Jimi Hendrix Park. So we're going to be talking to him about his upcoming EP, his latest EP, Midnight Microdose Volume 1, and also talking to him about his excitement to bring his talent right here to the Seattle area for Juneteenth. But of course, y'all know it's the top of the show, so it's a great time to tag and share the stream. That's right. Participate with us. Go ahead and tag and share this stream with folks you feel who could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on The Day with Trae. And if you cannot watch our TV show here, don't worry. We definitely have you covered. You can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and The Day with Trae. Y'all will find me on Google, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Apple Music, whichever one is your favorite. There's like 200 and something platforms. Just search for us and y'all will find us there. Well, without further ado, I am excited because Kevin Ross is joining me. Black Star Power moment indeed. What's up, Kevin? Welcome to The Day with Trae.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Like, as I said to you before, I've been a fan for a really long time, and it's exciting that you will be here in the Seattle area. Before we get into you coming here, I want to talk a bit about the beginnings of you in music. I mean, you have been a singer-songwriter, doing so many different things, dropping music for years. Tell us about what made you say, you know what, I do have a voice and I'm going to use it for R&B.
R&B is my first love. So, from a youngster, my parents, played a lot of 70s music, even though I was a 90s baby. They were in love with the 70s, so I was in love with the 70s. And so with that being said, the seed was planted as far as the history of R&B, and just kind of like falling in love with all of the artists, Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Marvin Gaye, Patrice Rushen, Prince, Michael, the list goes on and on of so many great artists, even until today. And so, that's really how it started. And then, being from DC and that being Chocolate City, that helped as well because, it was a city that really encouraged authenticity and entrepreneurship and, self-discovery. And so, it was a great melting pot and a place to really get, my feet wet as it pertains to being an artist and having my love for R&B as well.
Well, you're so right about that, and we know so many different cities have changed. Waves of gentrification have been hitting our cities, and I was
Mhm.
there in DC. I was at Howard
Yeah,
2000, and it was still popping. I'm so glad I got that experience because
that's right.
it felt like Chocolate City still. And so I love hearing that you have this musical background. So many amazing artists. It starts from such a young age with those family influences. So it's
Hmm.
great to hear that your family was a key ingredient to what you're bringing out into the public now. But this music that you create, I want to hear about some of the inspiration because you really hit on some major nodes when it comes to love, when it comes to connection. Tell us more about some of the process of you creating some of the great, amazing cuts that you've been able to make thus far.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, it all boils down to honesty, transparency, your willingness to be able to connect as well. I think that as creatives, the better that we get, it's a fine line in between self-serving our own flesh in the sense of saying this sounds good to me, or I think that this is dope, more so than saying, okay, well, what do the people need and what do they want to hear? What's missing as far as within the space? And so my job, I'm a servant, to the art. And so at the end of the day, my job is trying to figure out where there's lack or where subject matter, where we can kind of fill in the blanks and, really bridge the gap in between it. And so a lot of my inspiration comes from that and the motivation for it as well. So, whether I'm doing a cover or whether I'm doing original music like for Midnight Microdose, I knew that, you know, we're in a space where we're in R&B where I feel like it's a lot of toxicity and it's a lot of gray area. So it's a lot of relationships that and stories that are being told where it's like, we don't know what we're doing, but we do it anyways, and there's nothing wrong with it. But there has to be another side of it, and that's clarity. And so, that's what I want to bring to the table at this point in my career is offerings of clarity. There's nothing wrong with, being a working woman and a working man that wants to find their uh significant other or to stay together with their significant other and not for things to be so gray, but to be clear or to encourage clarity in people's lives. And so that's my motivation behind the music and creating some of the stuff.
I really enjoy hearing that because we keep hearing this narrative of R&B dying, right? And like the ideas of us being in these amazing, one-on-one relationships, like, oh, that's dead. People want to surf around. They don't want to necessarily have
Mhm.
to settle down. I love hearing you say that, Kevin. Let's keep that energy because, when I talk to younger generations, they're like, yo, it's not the same as when you were growing up. My younger
Yeah,
siblings tell me that all the time. It isn't the same. You know what I mean? It's hard to find good quality women or good quality men out here. And I'm like, yo, that's hard for me to hear because I want to believe in love. And
yeah.
R&B has always been one of those art forms that really hones in on that relationship,
Mhm.
and really understanding and exemplifying what it means to be in a relationship, whether it gets through the tough times, whether it's, you're on cloud nine, it's the
Yeah.
full spectrum. So I love that you have that intentionality in the music you're creating, but it also draws folks in. I mean, how have a lot of your fans been able to receive your works over time? Because you've been really consistent by putting music out there and in a sense being true to you, but also giving folks what they really need and what they want to hear. How have you been able to receive some of that love coming from your fans?
Oh man, I mean, having fans and having an audience to begin with is a blessing within itself because I remember even starting my independent journey and telling my small team at the time, I'm like, we are at zero streams. You know what I mean? Like we have zero. Like we're starting at ground zero. Whatever happened years prior, that doesn't matter. Like we're starting at zero. And so to see the growth and progression in the sense of every project and every song, you you're filled with gratitude. And I think that that allows for you to excel even higher and far beyond what you can ever imagine for yourself if you have that attitude of gratitude. It allows for, your territory to expand as well. I mean, this whole, project, Midnight Microdose, is based off of my audience and their comments saying, look, Kevin's music is always so short, but we love it. But, why are your songs so short? And so for me, instead of saying, you know what, I'm gonna elongate all of these songs because this is what they're asking, I decided to lean in more on it and to really make a whole body of work of short songs. And the reason why is because of the day and age that we're in as far as, streaming. So, if the song is potent enough or if it's good enough, then, it brings replay power into it. And so, it helps our bottom line as artists, but then it also allows for people to enjoy the process of, really getting to internalize a song. Then that transitions into your desire to come and see me live, right? And so it opens a whole Pandora's box into the possibility of artist to audience relationship. And so I appreciate it and I don't take it for granted. So it's been amazing for me.
That's really great to hear because, for me, so I think sometimes there's maybe a misnomer too about like, man, well, now Kevin, you went from independent, now you're big time. You know what I'm saying? Billboard charting. Are you still listening to us as fans? And that's so key to talk about the foundation of gratitude as a Billboard charting artist, Kevin. That's really great to hear because we in terms of those of us who support artistry and really
Mm,
help artists get to that place, I mean, it's because folks are listening, right?
yeah.
Because folks are tapping in. And so I appreciate you even just saying right now, like,
Uh-oh. So for some reason, I can't hear you right now. The sound went out, but you can hear me.
you,
But I
yeah, I
can't.
can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, there we
I'm
go.
sorry. Yes.
Uh,
Okay.
Well, I appreciate you saying you're leaning into the short songs and that
Yeah.
you're making sure that, fans are understanding your artistry and why you're doing that. Because I was gonna say something too. I'm like, a lot of this stuff, when you think about an EP or you think about some of the ways that you've been able to create music, I was thinking like when I talk about prototype, I
Yeah.
was like, this is amazing to just hear your melodies over the tracks, the harmonies that you're doing, all of the ad libs in the back, the layers that you put in your music are very specific. And it's like you can tell that you have a real love for it because of all into it. But I've been like one that's been listening for a very long time. So it's great to see that you're like, no, I'm honing in on this, man. Short songs, it works with the stream. And also that you're open and flexible to grow with this technology. Cause that was going to be a question I ask is, now it's very different. I was at an event the other day and they said, cable is dead. Like TV is dead. Folks are
Mm,
all on stream. We're no longer going to necessarily go into BET to see the
mm.
upcoming videos. So how do you ensure that not only on the streaming services, but with some of the videos you do, that you make sure it's accessible to this new wave of technology everybody is engaging with?
I mean, I think the thing is, you always got to go in with the mindset that you don't know everything, right? And so just because it worked on one platform doesn't mean that it's going to work on all. And so you want to bring all of the smart people in the room with you as it pertains to, their various expertise. And so I always started off with saying, look, I don't know. And I'm curious to understand the mechanics of why certain things work. And some people may have the answers for me, and some people may not. But by being open and saying that I don't know, I get to solutions quicker versus a lot of the constant back and forth. and bringing that into just all of the new technology. You got to embrace it. You got to embrace it for what it is and for what it's worth, but also understanding that, just like J. Cole said, is like being the middle child. Being a middle child and being just like right in the midst of just kind of like, you're not young and you're not old, you're just like in the thick of it. Our responsibility is to be a bridge, right? We're bridging the gap between generations. And so, I think that we have the toughest job as being architects, to these multiple generations that will be coming after us and those that came before us, and really like, holding that line together. Like you said, people say that TV's dead, people say that radio's dead, but it's very interesting in the sense of, if one of your favorite artists got on Jimmy Fallon or the Tonight Show, that's still a big landmark, and that does show success. Is still like a traditional standpoint of success, so we can't ignore that either. But it's embracing both sides of it to say the Tonight Show is important, but you know what I mean, like every other thing as far as on YouTube and every platform that we have, it's important. It's just about validating each and every one, you know what I mean, and not holding rank, you know what I mean, in the midst of all of the amazing things that we have. And so, it's just about finding a balance and just having community that's smart enough to diversify your resources and your abilities and your material.
Yeah, absolutely. I agreed. And you just mentioned community there. I mean, it takes a very strong, supportive team to grow with you. Tell us about that growth, because you've been in the industry for years,
Mhm.
and your team has probably grown over time. But tell us about some of that background that a lot of folks may not understand. It really takes that team of experts, as you said, too, to be there to ensure that your growth is continual, from one project to another. But just tell us how strong your team is and how connected you all are.
I mean, I think team is very important, and you have to understand the power of what you bring to the table, especially if you are the artist or the focal point or the front runner, or the one that's kind of in the front of the TV or whatever the case may be. You have to know the role that you play, and so sometimes as a leader or influencer of your team or of your community, you have to have real conversations as well, where the bond has to be tight, but then you have to have these moments of transparency to say, hey, you were slipping this week. You know what I mean? And having those conversations individually instead of chastising someone collectively, but to, isolate to say, hey, this could have been better. You know what I mean? Let's get it together, for the collective, so that we can all do better. And so, then there's another side of it as well, where sometimes you may have to, shed your whole team. I remember, the team that I had, 5 years ago is completely different from the team that I have now. But it's because of where I was, in a sense of the things that I needed, the things and the places that I was going. When your vision changes, sometimes that means that certain people can't go along for that ride when the vision changes, because their eyes aren't set in the same place that you are. And so it's always great to align yourself with people that match your vision. And that's going to give you honest feedback. You know what I mean? I don't believe in yes men and women to be around me, but I want for people to make me better, at what I do, and that on both ends we can take constructive criticism, because at the end of the day, a win, in the team is a win for all of us. And so it's not just about the front runner, but it's about everybody, because at the end of the day, when somebody's sitting on a panel or somebody's doing a TED talk, and your name gets brought up, you want to make sure that there's only positive things to say about that, and that we can
Yeah.
make history together. So yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that that transparency you just shared with us, because if you got to shed the team in order to get to the next level, realize the vision, that's so important. When we think about the history and legacy of Juneteenth, this has been celebrated in Black communities for decades, right? And now with this kind of national recognition, we're seeing a plethora of Juneteenth celebrations. I want to hear from you, why you chose to come to Seattle and bring your talent here. We're so excited to have you for this Juneteenth celebration, but it also holds a different weight because it's not just about a concert, right? It's also like, look, you're bringing your talent to something that's elevating and highlighting, this point in our history when we think about Black liberation and freedom. Tell us more about your decision to be with us in Seattle for Juneteenth.
Well, this will be my first time in Seattle ever. And so,
wow.
I figured this would be a great moment in time to go to Seattle for Juneteenth. I think that Juneteenth is a holiday that's based on awareness, and awareness of, like you said, of liberation, awareness of who we are as a people, our worth, our value, to remind ourselves of the power that we possess. Even when all things may be stripped away from us, we are powerful and we are necessary, not just to our community, but to the culture as a whole and to the world, and what we bring to the table. And so that's what we celebrate. And so Juneteenth, I'm so glad that it's national. It should be global because of our impact, and what we bring to the table. And so the whole world should celebrate it, and come together to acknowledge our abilities and just our amazingness. And so I think this is going to be an amazing celebration, and I'm excited. I'm excited to experience Seattle and see all of these melanated faces. Because when you think of Seattle, you may not think of a high potency of melanin. And so I'm looking forward to just seeing all different kind of faces in the crowd, and for all of us to celebrate together.
Well, I'm so excited that you are here, that you're going to be here with us celebrating on Monday. I look forward to being with you at Juneteenth. Thank you so much for making time in your busy schedule to join me on the Day with Trae today. This is such a huge honor to be with you. Kevin, thanks so much, and I'll see you on Monday.
I will see you on Monday. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. Wow, y'all. Kevin Ross, Billboard charting artist who has just amazing talent. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed to come and check him out on Monday, Jimi Hendrix Park, right there at Juneteenth, the celebration, and also a whole discussion on reparations, because we got to sprinkle the education in there, as Y King said yesterday. I'm going to be talking more about Juneteenth events right after this short break, y'all. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Hi, I'm King of Virginia. Just when you thought it was hot in Seattle, it just got hotter. The HBCU Swingman Baseball Classic will be held at T-Mobile Park. Here's an opportunity for these kids to showcase their talent playing baseball because they love the game of baseball. The All-Star Game before the All-Star Game. Not everybody can go to a Power 5 conference, but that shouldn't stop you from playing the game that you love. There's a lot of great players who played our game who went to historical Black colleges. So why don't you come show your support, show your love, and stop by. This is powered by T-Mobile, MLB, MLBPA, Youth Development Foundation. The HBCU Swingman Classic at T-Mobile Park. It's gonna be hot.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
The new COVID-19 updated booster provides the best protection available right now. So don't wait. Stay safe this summer and get your updated booster today. To find a free vaccine provider near you, go to kingcounty.gov/vaccine.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. Of course, I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I'm still buzzing from that amazing interview with Kevin Ross. Make sure y'all come and check him out on Monday at Jimi Hendrix Park. But I will say there are so many amazing events going on. If you just look up Juneteenth, like Google it, Juneteenth in Washington State, or Juneteenth events in Washington State, a whole list of things come up because there's so many different things going on. It's a beautiful time to celebrate Black freedom, Black liberation, learning more about Juneteenth and why it was so highly regarded and celebrated in Black communities way before many folks actually were aware of what Juneteenth was. There are so many things going on all over our state, but you just saw a commercial for something that's happening that I'll be talking about too, because we had Dr. Reverend Leslie Braxton here to give us some insight on that. But of course, normally on Fridays, we got Fitness Friday, and I got to give it up because our guy, Dion, Body Mechanic Abdullah, actually will be on site at Rainier Arts Center, at the Rainier Community Center. Y'all, they will be doing an event right here. You can see this flyer with Atlantic Street Center Holistic Coalition will be in the building. They will have a bunch of practitioners with them. They're so excited because their whole motto is bringing a holistic approach to health and wellness, and Dion will be there. They will have their massage table out. They will be giving some tips and tricks and giving some massages. Make sure y'all tap in right there at Rainier Community Center. It's going to be a really great time. That is happening tomorrow. Another event that's happening tomorrow, we heard about it from Carlicia Bell. Also this week, a Juneteenth celebration happening in Town Square Park, right there in Federal Way. It is like centrally located downtown Federal Way. Y'all will get that information 12 to 4. They're going to be out there. There's going to be things for the kids. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be food and family-friendly fun. So make sure y'all check that out. And before even all of these events go down, tonight, I'll be in the building with, I'm so excited, Dante Ross. Oh my goodness, a phenomenal, legendary music producer who has signed so many dope artists that we all know of. He will be having a book signing event and talking about his work as a music producer. Jake One will be there on the ones and twos spinning for us. It's going to be a dope time tonight. There's still some tickets available. It is limited, but check that out. I will be there in the building. I'm looking forward to being there as well. And then y'all know Sunday, we just had the commercial playing because Songs of Black Folk will be at Paramount Theater. Y'all do not want to miss this event. I'm excited. My mother and I are going. I'm trying to attend as many of these events as I can because there's so much brilliance going on all throughout the state. And I'm grateful that I have a purview to really spotlight so many of these events. There's also and a whole event happening in Tacoma on Monday. But y'all know we've been talking about Jimi Hendrix Park. That's right, because Kevin Ross and Talib Kweli will be there on site. Y'all do not want to miss this amazing opportunity to hear their brilliant talent, but also to get that education about why we continue to push for reparations. You'll hear from some amazing speakers, dope performers all around, dope DJs, over 100 vendors. Y'all, it's going to be going down on Monday from 12 to 8. Make sure y'all tune in and come in with us, like tune in there at the place, at the park. Be with me. I'll be emceeing. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all there. There's so many different things. If you are wondering what's happening in your area, just Google it. You will find something because there's so many amazing events going on. Kudos to all these event organizers for pulling all of this great work together. And so I just wanted to give y'all a little taste and recap some of the events we've been talking about this week, because there are a ton of events happening. A lot of it started yesterday and moving into Monday. So there's so many different things for you to check out. Do not sit at home. Get out there and check these events out. I'll wrap all this up right after this short break. Y'all stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, and the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
The new COVID-19 updated booster provides the best protection available right now. So don't wait. Stay safe this summer and get your updated booster today. To find a free vaccine provider near you, go to kingcounty.gov/vaccine.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. This is such a great day. I'm looking forward to celebrating Juneteenth this weekend. Be inspired, y'all. Y'all heard from Kevin Ross today. I mean, you couldn't have told me years ago when I discovered him as an artist that, in several years, I would be interviewing him on my own talk show. So when I tell you dreams are real, they come true, they are possible, continue to be inspired to pull your dreams together so we can all experience your brilliance. Again, I encourage you, get out there this weekend, check out some of these amazing events, get some history, learn, connect with community, find the ways, y'all, to be a part of the solution. Maybe this weekend, you getting out there means you are connecting with the right organization for you to volunteer or bring your time, talent, and treasure to them. And that's the way that you begin to see yourself as a part of the solution. You'll never know if you stay inside. So please join us. I look forward to being out there and running into y'all who are doing the work. Thank you all for watching today. And for me, I actually will be here on Monday, Juneteenth. So make sure y'all tune in to The Day with Trae on Monday, Juneteenth. And y'all know I'll be there. at 11 a.m. Until then, peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.